Floyd was built to be the villain.
Legend versus legend. So, I mean, that speaks for itself.
It's like having a loyal girlfriend and ditching her for a hot one-night stand who ghosts you. You're left with nothing, and you go home with a hairy palm.
What you see in the ring is only half the story in the world of boxing. Outside the ropes, the other half is a vicious, unfiltered conflict between words, egos, and legacies.
Terence Crawford didn't have the wide-eye look. In fact, when he stepped from behind the tunnel and came out, he seemed to come alive when he saw the crowd. He looked up and he saw those people, and even though it was a pro-Canelo crowd, it looked like it woke him up. And then when I saw Canelo, what I noticed about him was that brother looked a lot different tonight than he did yesterday in his face. He was full-faced. His body looked like he put the weight on. During that first round, I mean the first 2-3 seconds, they touched gloves and Crawford flicked 2 jabs at Canelo and kind of stood his ground. And I said, okay, we're going to have a real fight tonight.
That's how Floyd is. He's very.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest.
Every great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every single,
easily the best counter puncher.
No, every great fighter in the world says there's nobody better. But when you're talking about wins,
right?
Not the best heavyweight champ is Mike Tyson. Right. I think, right? Like the scariest guy because his force is just so.
It's insane.
Yeah,
but Logan having almost beat Floyd, that's got to put him in the top three greatest.
The entire community is in astonishment when Oscar De La Hoya recently launched a verbal bomb.
Floyd was built to be the villain. Floyd was built with his opponents that we put in front of him, from Miguel Cotto to everybody. He was the villain. And in a movie, you need the hero and a villain. And Floyd was the perfect villain. Mm-hmm. People love to hate him, and guess what? He made a whole career about it, and he's one of the greatest.
Do you think people tune in to watch greatness or tune in to watch him lose?
A lot of people tuned in to watch him lose, but a lot of people also tuned in to watch greatness.
I know the purist like yourself, people that's been around the boxing game, the fight game for an extended period of time, they understand who he is.
Sure.
But do you think the casual, the layperson realize how great he is?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
His remarks did more than only rekindle an old enmity. It pulled 2 of the most powerful fighters of this age into a heated argument. This conflagration was started by an unexpected spark. Terence "Bud" Crawford had just accomplished the unimaginable, solidifying his legacy as the first male boxer to be an undisputed champion in 3 distinct weight divisions by defeating Canelo Alvarez.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring them. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
It was a turning point in his career. A triumph that cemented his status among the greatest of all time. However, the most shocking declaration of the evening was made by Canelo, the defeated fighter, in the moments following the battle. It only required that one sentence. The boxing community erupted as a long-simmering argument was abruptly brought to light, compelling everyone to take sides. Oscar De La Hoya intervened at that point.
Prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
De La Hoya's viewpoint held a special weight because he had met Mayweather himself, and he used it to brutally effectively end Canelo's claim. He flatly denied that Crawford could compete against Money Mayweather in an interview that went viral very fast.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, and, you know, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
De La Hoya made a chillingly straightforward argument that was grounded in his personal encounters with Canelo. He brought up the 2013 masterclass, in which a youthful Canelo was destroyed by a top Floyd Mayweather. De La Hoya said, "I have to disagree. Floyd Mayweather basically played with Canelo because he did the same to him. He wasn't even struck. Not once." De La Hoya believed that the evidence was indisputable. He clarified, "Mayweather is, in my opinion, far better than Crawford. I firmly believe that Mayweather is a superior fighter, not simply because he defeated me."
Okay, well, we want to know, in the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
However, De La Hoya's admiration for Mayweather is tainted by a convoluted past. We must go back to 2007 to witness the world's most anticipated battle, in which De La Hoya squared off against Floyd Mayweather. It was a titanic battle that broke pay-per-view records. The well-known Golden Kid, De La Hoya, put up one of the hardest fights of Mayweather's career before losing by a close, contentious split decision. His endorsement of Mayweather today thus begs an intriguing issue. Is this a strategic move or just an objective analysis? By solidifying Mayweather's status as the undisputed champion, De La Hoya also enhances his reputation by adding to the significance of his own near victory over the mythology. It's a brilliant method to humble the man who took his place as boxing's biggest celebrity while also discreetly reminding the world of his own grandeur. There was more to this than a technical malfunction. It was the start of a much bigger conflict. De La Hoya's critique extended beyond Crawford and Mayweather. It was a direct and intimate assault on the whole legacy of Canelo Alvarez.
So it turns out I'm not the only one who thinks Canelo is an arrogant piece of shit. Turki Al-Sheikh recently revealed that Canelo refused to meet with him in person and isn't entertaining any deals to be done with him. Why? Because he's outpriced himself so much that the Saudis don't even want to deal with him. And it's all because he will do anything not to fight David Benavidez. Look, Turkey is trying to make the best fights that everybody wants to see. And Canelo continues to take the fights that nobody wants to see. Canelo, you're really making the wrong enemies. But you know what?
And then secondly, there's been some social media speculation, we'll say, about when this fight is going to take place. So when will it be?
Who's asking about the time and the place? Can you be specific?
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
Boxing's worst-kept secret is the animosity between the promoter and his former star fighter. De La Hoya then took use of the occasion to vent years of suppressed annoyance.
God, it makes me horny.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you I told you so.
I told you.
I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. What the fuck was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy.
Look, I promoted Canelo's entire career.
Put some fucking respect on it.
And it was a huge flop.
How do you like them apples?
The only real fighters he's faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford. And they all toyed with him. Even Mayweather knew Crawford was going to school him.
Thank you.
He put $50,000 on Crawford to win.
You must comprehend their divorce in order to comprehend the poison. Canelo was transformed into a worldwide sensation by De La Hoya's Golden Boy promotions. They were an unstoppable force for years until their relationship worsened, leading to a nasty public split and legal action. Canelo believed he was being mistreated and asked for his.
Para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi nombre. Nunca perdí un solo centavo, sino nomás ganó dinero. ¿Ya le pagaste a Golovkin lo que le quería robar? Sí, muy bien, porque sí, también. Pero si no hubiera metido a mis abogados, me lo robas. Es lo único que hace este hombre es ser una lacra del boxeo, robarle a los boxeadores. Para el que esté con él, meta por favor ahí a sus abogados, porque seguramente les está robando. Es lo único que viene a hacer al boxeo.
You know who your daddy is.
Y a lo único que viene es a robarle la atención a Jaime Munguía. No viene a promoverlo. También le roba la atención a la gente que hace las cosas para la cocina. Ya no saben si hacerlas como consoladores o como cazuelas o algo. Porque acá se las mete el muchacho.
Yeah, I find it quite weird, really. Like, you know, on one hand, Oscar's sort of, his whole mantra right now is how happy he is, and, you know, look at me, guys. And there's obviously this thing with Canelo that just eats him up so much. I mean, the stuff with me eats him up, but this is on another level. And it's like this Clapback Thursday thing, which I think is actually quite amusing. Like, you've got that platform there. Why would you use it to just continuously talk about or try and discredit Canelo Alvarez, who's a fighter that left you 4 years ago? It's over. You know, on one hand, you're this happy-go-lucky guy, and then on the other hand, you've got like this toxicity eating away inside you that's making your blood boil. Just let it go. Like, talk about his fighters, you know, Zurdo Ramirez, Zepeda, Munguia, and Munguia's left him, but like the other guys he looks after as well. So like, I don't know, I find it a bit weird, really.
De La Hoya, on the other hand, considered it a betrayal from a fighter in whom he had placed all of his faith. He is not merely a promoter, therefore, when he claims that Canelo's career was a lot of bullshit. A man who helped create the empire is being mocked for attempting to destroy it.
I don't expect anything less than that with that kind of person. He's an because he's mad because I leave Golden Boy. I'm the diamond in Golden Boy. Golden Boy is not the same without me. That's why he's angry. I have the proofs. I put my lawyers in, and he tried to steal money. I have proofs. I don't want to do anything against that kind of guys. I don't want that vibes. I don't really give a shit about Oscar. But if he says something here in my territory, I need to say something, right?
Canelo, I just saw another video where you're still talking shit. All you say is fuck him, fuck that. Oh, he stole from me. Well, obviously, aside from defaming me, why don't you look inside your own circle? Because I know for a fact that people are stealing from you. By the way, you lined my pockets. You made Munguia a shitload of money, all because you're afraid of David Benavidez. Fuck you.
This individual's past serves as the fire's fuel, transforming a straightforward boxing argument into a vindictive revenge quest. He posted a critical evaluation on social media, saying, "I promoted Canelo's entire career, and it was a huge fluff." Then he twisted, the only real fighters he's faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford, and they all toyed with him, the knife goes on to say. This was De La Hoya's "I told you so" moment, a very intimate public celebration of Canelo's loss.
Terence replied to your tweet. He said he disagreed with what you said, but then you also responded to him.
Respectfully, I've been a fighter, and I've gone in my own way when it comes to negotiating a fight, because I have an ego, especially when I'm a fighter. So when I'm a fighter and I'm sitting down on a table with my potential opponent in front of me and with the people that I delegate that are smart, that are business people, it just does not work because there's too many egos in the table. When I started doing that and becoming a businessman before I was a fighter, guess what? My focus was on business instead of the fight, and I started losing. Your window is so short. There's a window of opportunity. Take advantage of it as a fighter.
And just when you thought the turmoil was limited to the boxing world, De La Hoya expanded his reach and directed his hatred at UFC President Dana White, a completely other beast. De La Hoya attacked White with extraordinary venom in the same rage-filled tirade, charging him with putting financial gain ahead of his boxer's welfare.
We're part of the whole. We were actually. I was part of the whole. You know, the whole movement. Yeah. You know, with the Muhammad Ali Act and all that, and it's in place for a reason. I'm telling you right now, if they change the Muhammad Ali Act, every fighter out there, every manager is going to have problems. It's going to be in trouble because you're not going to be able to negotiate. You're not going to be able to negotiate purses or this and that. You fight for what they pay. That's not a way. That's not a way to do it. That's not a way to do it. You have to. It's a free negotiation. It's you know, you have managers for a reason. You have the fighters who should be making the bulks of the money. We put our lives on the line. We go up in the ring. Fighters die. For what? To get 10%? That's bullshit.
He cited White's divisive views on the Muhammad Ali Act, a federal statute intended to safeguard boxers, and implied that White wished to change it to allow TKO, the parent organization of the UFC, to hire fighters. He even said White was late for the Crawford-Canelo bout, allegedly using his phone to watch a UFC event during the undercard.
As far as the undercard, Jesus Christmas, I feel bad for Turkey, wasting all that money. You have to fire your matchmakers, Turkey. It was the biggest fight of the decade, and your matchmakers, not you, your matchmakers,
what are those guys?
Put on that undercard? You paid all that money and had the biggest stage in boxing on Netflix, and that is really the best they could do?
Didn't even try.
If I was matchmaking, I would have put Shiraz versus Benavidez as a co-main event, with the winner fighting the winner of Canelo Crawford next.
Thank you.
That's how you promote. That's how you matchmake. Dana White didn't have his best week. His t-shirt shrank smaller every minute, especially when he was questioned about his attempt to amend the Muhammad Ali Act. So you're saying this reporter is an asshole because he's asking you a legitimate question? That's because the Muhammad Ali Act protects fighters, and TKO needs it to change so they can fuck fighters over. Sorry, Uncle Fester. You can't muzzle the boxing media like you do in the UFC.
That's alright.
And after this debacle, he decided to skip the undercard and shows up in the beginning of the main event, where he's just watching the UFC on his phone the entire time. I wonder if he regrets abandoning the UFC for a sport that doesn't want him.
With a straight and startling farewell to both of his targets, the tirade came to a head. Dana Canelo Fu.
I'm not interested in to be a friend with him. I'm good where I am, and I have nothing to with him, and I wish all the best for him, and that's it. I don't want him in my life. I don't want him near from me, close to me. I don't want that kind of vibes on my life.
The opposing viewpoint started to retaliate as De La Hoya's remarks became viral online. And this is when the full scope of Crawford's achievements becomes apparent. Crawford, a welterweight by birth, moved up 2 full classes from 147 to 168 pounds to take on Canelo, who was inherently stronger and larger. Few warriors have the courage to assume this enormous risk. Conveniently, De La Hoya overlooks the crucial layer of context it adds.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing, except for Floyd fought a few times at 154. I'm not faulting Floyd for not fighting Triple G. I totally get it. I'm just saying that upper echelon, the reason why I will always have Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd is the crazy, the insane part of it. What Terence Crawford is talking about doing, he ain't saying let me meet Canelo at a catchweight. Canelo's undisputed there. Let me go get him.
Mayweather wisely managed the danger by taking on a younger, less seasoned Canelo at a catchweight of 152 pounds.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, you know, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult fight.
At the Canelo's inherent weight, Crawford entered the den and subdued him. This statistic alone makes a strong case for Crawford's side, implying that his triumph was the result of much more talent and audacity. Crawford's camp was not going to overlook this. Brian Baumack McIntyre, his trainer, quickly verified Canelo's assertion. He told reporters, sporting a cap emblazoned with the word GOAT, he is, of course. He's obviously better for McIntyre. Crawford surpasses Mayweather's methodical rule because of his readiness to fight anyone, anywhere, and at any weight. But Crawford himself adopted a more tactful stance. Floyd was the best of his time. He declared, "I'm the greatest of mine." However, the comparison was already well underway, with pundits such as Stephen A. Smith offering their opinions and contrasting Crawford's unadulterated toughness and remarkable flexibility under duress with Floyd's defensive whiz. You must comprehend the science behind their styles in order to fully appreciate the argument. It's a traditional philosophical conflict.
Floyd was in his prime.
That would have been fucking incredible to see which style's superior. Because Floyd would move towards you like this, he would just get right up on you. It would just show you how good Floyd really is. Because the fact that he's won decisions by, you know, playing it safe, people that just don't get excited about him and they recognize him with the all-time greats, he's the best.
And still, they call me Money Mayweather at All-Star Game, man. I don't think no L's. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Money Mayweather at the All-Star Game. No, man.
A defensive genius and ghost, Floyd Mayweather became nearly unbeatable by perfecting the Philly shell and shoulder roll. Risk management, accurate counterpunching, and an unmatched ring IQ were the cornerstones of his entire strategy. He was an expert at making you miss and suffer for it.
Floyd Mayweather used to have these crazy workouts and he would crack open a Pepsi.
Give me some soda.
People are like, he's crazy. But no, he's not. He's smart. That guy did it the right way. Never drank, never partied, would run home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning.
He was built different.
Conversely, Terence Crawford is a hunter. As a predatory switch hitter who can move between orthodox and southpaw stances with ease, he can generate perplexing angles and take down his opponents piece by piece. He constantly seeks the finish and breaks you down both psychologically and physically rather than just outboxing you. The dilemma then becomes which is stronger, the unrelenting siege or the impenetrable fortress. There was a more subdued and possibly ominous disagreement simmering beneath the surface of this verbal battle. The official scorecards for the Crawford-Canelo fight seemed incredibly close to many fans and analysts.
Canelo, I may be the only one. I thought you won the fight. I scored it for you.
You know, we need to accept it. We need to accept it. No matter what, in the scorecard, we lost it.
Legendary boxer Andre Ward expressed a worry that has long plagued the sport. the ghost of prejudice in Las Vegas. He proposed that in order to guarantee profitable rematches, judges frequently unconsciously give preference to the money fighter. The notion that an invisible hand was subtly influencing the result gave the incident a conspiracy-like appearance. Yet, the fight was a huge economic success in spite of the judging controversy. With 41.4 million Netflix subscribers and a $47 million gate receipt, it broke records and demonstrated that drama in contemporary combat sports is just as popular as athletic prowess. Oscar De La Hoya's unrestrained tirade ultimately accomplished more than simply settling a score. It tore the intricate realm of professional combat, where legacy-defining arguments, financial interests, and personal grudges are continuously at odds, is depicted. His bitter criticism of Canelo and Dana White, together with his steadfast faith in Mayweather's superiority, has completely changed the definition of greatness. The boundaries between sport and spectacle were blurred when Terence Crawford's unprecedented accomplishment in the ring served as the impetus for a flurry of controversy outside of it. The questions still stand as the dust settles. Who actually establishes a fighter's heritage? Who controls the narrative? The fans, the experts, or the strong men? And can the purest form of athletic greatness ever really speak for itself in a society where rivalries and money rule the day?
I mean, I'm glad that I'm able to just still be able to entertain for the people, and you still get a chance to see just a glimpse of me.
Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
That's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
That concludes today's video. Please remember to hit the bell button, subscribe, and give a like if you liked it so you don't miss any of our next videos. Additionally, remember to leave a comment with your ideas. Keep checking back, and we'll see you at the next.